Hello, Flosstube.
Greetings.
I'm Laura.
I'm Joe.
Welcome to the Slovak Farm.
This is the farm where we grow cross-stitch.
One stitch at a time. Today is Monday, January 27th. Happy birthday to my dad. Yep. Shittiest birthday ever this year. Hopefully you all had a good week. I did not. We did not. We did not. My grandfather passed away last Monday. The services and everything were yesterday and today. So it was just not a good week.
Yep.
And it is what it is. I am, mildly prepared. I have my stitching to show you. I do not have counts. I don't have star pictures. It's going to be bare basics this week. But it's okay. Because if it's not okay, you know what you can do.
Bye.
That was not what I was thinking.
No, that's the politically correct nice way. Everything that involves flagging YouTube's algorithms for harsh language, yeah, do that up your own posterior.
It is what it is. So,
positive vibes only, please.
Yes.
We're both not happy.
I have to water my little plant. My little jade plant. The poinsettias have finally given up the ghost. Yeah, poinsettia Christmas. So, hopefully you all had a good week. Let us shout out our commenters.
Let me see. Thank you, Andrea, Teresa, Janet, and Tamara.
Thank you for commenting on the Hot Mess Express video, and if you commented on my community post last week about not being able to do Flosstube, thank you. I know some people did. I just don't have track of it, and I know people commented on my Facebook post about it, and people have messaged me, and thank you all. I appreciate it. There's a lot. It's been a lot. It's been rough.
Let's get through this before you start to cry.
We're going to try. In no particular order, no. I have somewhat of...
I'm just going to say, I didn't do squat. One, I got Factorio's latest expansion, and it's a building game, and I've been having fun with it. Two, I have not been in the mind. I've been playing Factorio because it is a game where you start playing it and 3 hours goes by, which is what I needed right now this week. I needed to just lose myself in something and not see what the world was doing until Laura told me it was time for bed.
And sometimes you didn't go to bed right away.
Nope.
Okay. Oh. Well. Yeah. I'll show that next week. I finished sewing something, but I left it upstairs. Monday, Tuesday in particular. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday were redonkulous cold here, and I finally finished a 4th of July banner that I've owned the panel for March of 2023. I left it upstairs. I'll try to remember to bring it down and show it to you guys next week. Joe was like, "Are you trying to think more thoughts?" Because I think I finished it Tuesday night or Wednesday night. Joe's like, "Are you trying to think warm thoughts?" I'm like, "Yes, I am, because I'm cold." It was so cold, they canceled school Tuesday and Wednesday on Monday. They knew it was going to be that cold. It was negative 25 with the wind chill.
Oh, yeah, that was last week. Wow.
That was last Wednesday.
Oh.
It was brutal. It was brutal. So, rewind to Dragonflies week, and I worked on my Star Touch Meadow February block for that. I also worked on this today for the week we got Friday, which is Weird Hit Holidays week. Yes, I did finish all of my stitches on this today. I stitched all in one color. Like I said, don't ask me. I actually think I started this 2 weeks ago. I'm pretty sure I started this 2 weeks ago. Looking at it now, I'm sorry my brain is not all there. So I did start the February. So this is what I've gotten. So there would be no star picture with this at least. I love this because it's a lot of purples. I love purples. So I did get this. So you won't see this next week for Weird Holiday Sale because I was stitching on this morning while we were hanging out, and then stitched on it this afternoon. And it was all one color, and those stitch up really fast. The Carolyn Mannings stitch up super fast. I will say that. It's because they're, big blocks. Because they're blocks of color. But it's also really nice that they stitch super fast. So, in accordance with what the decider decided, I worked on the Blue Flowers Greyhound Year for all of Dragonfly's Week. Now, this was prompts. We use this for prompts that are... I use this for that I could finish at 25 that have a predator, that have parallel or perpendicular items, and that you find fascinating. I did use my free pass for something with a source of heat, even though there's a source of heat on there.
And yes, I know we love our cute and fluffy doggies, but they're canines. Canines are all carnivores.
Greyhounds, dogs can be predators, and greyhounds in particular, you do have to be a little bit extra cautious because the prey drive is real.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
I don't know of every hound that I know of was bred for hunting.
Right.
Of some kind.
Okay.
So are most terriers now that I think about it.
A lot of terriers are, yes. So this is done on a 32 count. I custom dyed this for myself. And can you... Oh, please. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And I had part of September stitched in. I know that. And I finished the whole of the September block, and I have started the October block. The hound in this block is dressed as a dinosaur for Halloween. That's why you see these weird, funky little spikies. And my spikies are much more predominant on this fabric than they are on the cover photo. So I have October, November, and December to finish. There are little motifs in these little diamonds here. They are backfilled with the same color that is like here, I think. I think this is blue corn. I'm not entirely sure I have enough to backfill all of them. So I'm finishing the border first, so the border's all matchy-matchy. Yes?
I had a cool idea.
What?
Do you think you can find 6 diamond-shaped pendant medallion things that you can put in each one of these?
I could, but there's little stitches things to make.
I just thought it would be
have
cute.
A color that is exceedingly similar to the blue corn. So I'm going to finish all of the border with the blue corn that I need to finish. And I'll save these little diamonds for last. And then I'll start backfilling, I'll stitch and I'll backfill. If they're not next to each other, and even in certain spots, if they are next to each other, the two colors are pretty... Blue corn and this other floss, I don't even know where it's from. It's mystery. They're very similar. They're close enough that as long as I don't have them right up next to each other, you're never going to tell. What?
If you just use the new floss for the diamonds and that's it, no one will ever know, right?
Which also is a possibility.
Because how are they supposed to know it's supposed to be the same color? You could make it pink, purple with orange polka dots and no one would know the difference.
And considering the fact that I have done none of this in the called for, except for maybe 3 colors.
Exactly. I think the only time I think you actually do the called for is 310.
I do called for.
I think that's the only one you're guaranteed to do because we have a cone of it.
Oh, yeah. I have to open here. I have to figure out what I'm doing. I left the project over there. What are you? Oh, yeah. Okay. So after I finished Dragonfly Week, that was the weekend of 24-hour cross-stitch weekend, which is a whole thing. We've talked about it before. If you don't know what 24 hours of cross-stitch is, ask and I'll explain it. But, so that meant I was starting something. And I was starting Sunflower Fairy, which I was supposed to start last year for my birthday, but I was missing 2 flosses. So it never got started. I did get those 2 flosses. So I started Sunflower Fairy. And I jammed out the last 5 of my monthly with this gal. Yeah. Something like 1,500 stitches. And here she is. It is a 32 count. I'm not entirely sure. Yes, this is one of my dies. I don't know. I have no idea what I did to dye it this color because, yeah, that's my brain. But, so as you can see, I have the sunflower. The sunflower she's standing under. Done. And I have started her. This moved, like, this stitched really quickly. Like, it stitched.
Well, there are little blocks.
It was impressively, like, sometimes when you know, there's, like, 4 colors in these little flower petals. But, yeah, I was going quite well. I was quite pleased with how fast it was stitching, to be honest. Not gonna lie. Hopefully it just continues that way because I do want to get this. Like, I want to stitch stuff to finish stuff. I do. I promise. I mean, I like stitching, but I do like finishing stuff as well. So that brings me to the week after, so the week of the 20th, we were doing Cyclorama week in Daily 30. So the Star Touched Meadow January block was the Sal offering for it. And I did my little 300 stitches on this. This way's up. Yeah, it's just kind of easier to go around in one. Like, it's easier to go around the circle in one color. I don't know why. It's easy. That's what I'm going with. Stitch it how you want, folks. Just, I don't know, 300 some odd stitches. And then I did one project for all of Cyclorama week. We were talking before everything happened. Joe had actually already decided he wanted me to stitch Arctic Blast in honor of the Arctic Blast we were getting for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of that week. I thought it was quite fitting. We figured out how to fit Cyclorama week into Arctic Blast by Carolyn Manning.
All of it, by the way.
All of it, yes. All of it, and I think, count number 4, I could have made it fit, but I just used my free pass. And these were 400 stitch counts, so 4, 8, something like 1,700 stitches on this. Yeah. In 3 days. These stitch up incredibly fast, and it's all kind of over here and down here. Well, most of it's down here, actually, because I finished up most of page 2 and started on page 3. What's not finished on page 2 are some little bits that kind of feather down into page 5, like page 1 feathers down into page 4. I'll pick those up when I go down to those pages. Because, like, there's some bits that kind of from page 2, technically not done on the side, but with the way her, like, page carryover shading is, they're on page 3.
Yeah, my idea worked too well.
What?
Well, my idea was Arctic Blast would be a good way of getting through a 400 week. I just didn't think you'd do it in 3 days.
I was quite impressed I did it in 3 days. So, and the prompts for Cyclorama week were to stitch on a whip that is a first for you. You had to explain it. Well, it was the first whip I've done in honor of a massive weather event because Arctic Blast was charted for the 2020 to Arctic Blast. I didn't start it right away. I started it sometime in 2023. But yeah. Stitch on a Whip that has traveled with you. I've taken it to several stitching days with me. Stitch on a Whip that tells a story. And explain the story. Well, this was charted in honor of the Arctic Blast that occurred in Christmas of 22. That's quite a story. And then I was stitching it during the Arctic Blast of 2025. Stitch on a Whip that contains a circle or hexagon. I probably could have figured something out. I just went with my free pass. I need to put my end photo up. I didn't put my end photo up on to Stitch on a Whip of your choice, and tell us if you have visited a cyclorama and where it is. Now, a cyclorama is basically a 3D depiction of something, and it's kind of like a whole room. They're quite large. We have been to the one in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Basically, it's a life-sized diorama, but instead of having it only like one or two, like one wall and the floor made, or like the fourth wall is missing and that's what you're looking in, it's actually made for you to step into it. Think the difference between a television and the holodeck from Star Trek.
It's like made to give, the reason it's called a cyclorama is because it's made to give you a full 360 circle view.
That's my holodeck comment.
Yes. All right. Hold please, I need to go grab something. Okay. So, when I finished Arctic Blast, I picked up Friday morning. It was Friday morning. So I picked up Fairy House from Cottage Garden Samplings, which is one of my yearly offerings. And the yearly for Daily 30 is done in 500 stitch chunks to get your point. After so many points, you can change out your projects or whatever. It's 500 stitches to get 1 point. So, and you can do your 500 stitches to get to that point in any combination you want. I've just decided that I'm going to put 500 stitches on a project, and that's 1 point. It's what works best for my brain. So, Fairy House. I did my 500 stitches on Fairy House. This is on a piece of, what probably is what I would consider Cleveland crud. And that was to finish up these gills on this mushroom. What?
Okay, can I make my comment? Does anybody else think this looks like the Cheshire Cat's tail? Like, you know, in the scene where his tail just appears in thin air? That makes me think of his tail when I see it.
I agree. I absolutely agree. I was quite shocked because I hit 500 stitches, like, in a day. I very rarely do 500 stitches in a day. But with this, it was only 2 colors in here. So, and what I did was, like, I stitched this section, left the needle threaded, stuck it to my needle minder, stitched this section, left the needle thread. Like, so there was no threading and...
So you parked it.
I basically did a parking, and it made it go a lot quicker because I didn't have to unthread the needle and rethread the needle and all that. So, go me. I was quite shocked when I was like, dude, that's 500 stitches. Like, for real. That was 500. I did not expect those gills to be 500 stitches. They were kind of giggling at me because I was like, they've been stitching these gills forever. Well, no wonder I did 500 stitches on them. So then, you know, it was kind of, do I start my 3rd yearly offering, or do I start a new project? Or I started one of my smalls.
This was a conversation.
This was quite a conversation. Because I was on Zoom with one person, so I said, okay, what do you think I should do? She said, start a new one. I asked Joe what I should do, and he said, go to Reindeer. the reindeer from Cottage Grand Santa. I'm like, y'all are no help. So then I decided to go with a new start, but I let Joe pick it.
And you might notice a theme.
There's a theme. Well, I can't show you there's no cover.
There's no title that says what's in it.
There's no cover photo. There's no title. It is a freebie from the Scarlet House from Christmas of 2022. I've got like 600 some odd stitches done on it. I have a border here to finish, some snow, a sleigh, and a couple of reindeer. Friday's the last day of the month. I don't know if I'm actually going to get it done by the end of the month because I didn't really stitch a lot yesterday. Hashtag obviously, duh. But it is a 200 stitch count week in daily 30, so I probably have some time on my hands. Like, I've already gotten this.
You can just finish that, then do the 200 week.
I've got the Sal prompt for the week finished. So, like, tonight I'm going to stitch on this. So, easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy.
Basically. And yes, that was picked out of the massive pile of freebies that I have.
She's not kidding.
I have a pretty big pile of freebies. And Bethany sent me some more that I need to download. Alright, so I have my tablet in front of me to help me out. So that's been my stitching. Yeah, that's been my stitching for the week. 2 weeks, actually. There was a lot. So part of why I wasn't stressing out about start photos and stitch counts is because it's been 2 weeks worth of stitching. And just my brain is not there right now. My brain might be there next week. It might not. I make no guarantees. Just saying.
Yeah, my brain might be gone for other reasons.
I have no haul. I did not buy anything. Plans?
I don't know. I'm probably not going to get stitching because I have to leave work early Thursday because the cable company doesn't have any appointments during the time I'm not at work. And for some reason, instead of putting one line into the house and then splitting it where you need to go, like every other sane human being on the planet, whoever did the wiring for this house before we bought it, split it inside the box the cable company owns and ran 3 wires into the house, so I can't access them and one of the lines is bad. So they got to come in, open the box for me. I want them to take one line and run it into my house, rubbing the other 3 in without damaging them so I can plug them into a splitter so that this weekend I can rerun all of the cabling in my house because there's currently about 500 to 600 feet of coaxial cable in my basement that literally goes nowhere.
We do live in a 100-year-old house, 100-plus-year-old house, so, like, Lord only knows, and...
Oh, I'm pretty sure that woman let their teenagers run the show down there and they had fun.
I have no idea. I'm pretty sure the woman let those teenagers run the show in the entirety of the house.
So, yeah, I have to undo a lot of teenager shenanigans.
There's cats running across the outside.
Well, yeah, so I have to worry about, figure out, and get all that stuff together, so I'm not going to be doing much of anything.
It's okay. I love you.
Well, hey, you'll be able to get Channel 3 now.
Oh, well, yeah. And of course it stopped acting up.
You might be afraid of me.
That could be. Well,
fixing the problem anyway.
We're going to talk about the Daily 30. The new Daily 30 prompts for the week are weird holidays that take place between January 24th and January 30th. That's what it says. Weird holidays. Okay, you ready? Are you ready? So, prompt 1 is National Talk Like a Grizzled Prospector Day.
What in tarnation?
Basically. Dang nabbit. Yes.
That to bet. Yosemite Sam without the revolvers.
Yeah. So, of course, a prospector is somebody who goes and looks for gold, generally. So, your prompt is to stitch on something that is gold, or stitch with gold or yellow thread. I'm pretty sure I probably have projects that have all gold, that have enough gold or yellow thread to qualify.
It's just, are you at the yellow yet?
I'm not at that point yet.
I'm not going to lie. If anybody who does Daily 30 hears this, I hate the time when you require people to stitch in a color, because it's just like, hi, this is the free pass prompt of the week. Literally, isn't that almost how it always goes?
I don't know. Some people are able to do it. I'm willing to bet, like, I know there's 200 stitches of yellow on Belle. I'm not at that point yet to stitch that. I'm fairly certain there's 200 stitches of, I know there's at least 200 stitches left of gold thread on Wood Goddess. Which technically I might actually be close enough to that I could pull it off. But I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to look at it. So we're going to put Wood Goddess down as a possibility. Because I think there's another one. I'm not entirely sure I have something that works for it. Yes, I do have something that works for it. Fairly soon. Okay. Prompt number 2 is January 25th is National Fish Taco Day. And of course, these days have all passed. National Fish Taco Day. So, stitch on something that you can relate to the sea or food. Well, I'm pretty sure the sampler that shall not be named has boats on it. That has food in it. I'm pretty. Midnight Sails? That's got a big old boat on it.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Prompt number 3. January 27th, that's today, is National Bubble Wrap Day.
I have a sudden urge to pop things.
I have a sudden urge to go find some bubble wrap. Okay. So, stitch on a whip that contains something that can be popped, like bubble wrap. I can work Midnight Sail. I can make Midnight Sails work. Midnight Sail work. If you want me to stick with that.
Yeah, I was actually thinking you can pop a boat real good. They go down like a truck.
Well, the way the waves are, it looks like there's like the foamy stuff on top of the waves.
Oh, so it has bubbles.
So it looks like it's got bubbles.
Okay.
Alright. I can make Midnight Sail work for number 4, too.
What's that?
Number 4 is National Puzzle Day on January 29th. So if you're a puzzle fanatic, Wednesday is your day. And a count. And that is to stitch on a whip that puzzles you.
All of them? If there hasn't been somebody who sits there and goes, wait, what the heck did the designer do here? Or, wait, was I supposed to do 3 stitches or 4 stitches? Or, wait, why aren't these 2 touching? They're supposed to be touching?
Midnight Sail would work for that for me because
It puzzled your husband so much you had to do it?
Well, it did puzzle you so much. But originally, the big old giant moon, so if you don't know what Midnight Sail looks like, there's a boat and it's kind of silhouetted against a giant moon that looks like it's just coming up the horizon. That was originally charted in Alkranic, and I did not want to do it in Alkranic, so figuring out how to stitch it so it still had like kind of that sparkly moon glowy look, but wasn't a pain in my backside to stitch, was a bit of a puzzle.
Cool.
Alright, and number 5, I cannot fit Midnight Sail into it, so I either will do alternative stitches or we will pick another option, and you can take your pick. And that is... I gotta find it. There's no, like... something to do with yodeling. But it doesn't tell me what day National Yodeling Day is. So, yeah, it's National Yodeling Day.
Yodeling!
Yeah. And it was originally used for communicating between neighboring villages, or even more commonly for herders to call their animals back. So, stitch on a whip that contains 2 or more houses. I'm pretty sure, I know that one's got 2 or more houses on it.
Is there any yellow on that one?
I'm not there yet.
Okay. Sure, that works.
Autumn at Hawkrun Hollow. I'm pretty sure contains 2 or more houses. So. And it might be good for me to only do stitch 200. You were supposed to eat that. Might be good for me to only do 200 stitches on that because if you recall the border on the top, or the little header on the top, the line isn't meeting up right, so I have to do some finagling to make it fit right. What?
Well, if you want to do 400, you can do skip 1, 2, 3 for sail, 4, 5 for Hawk and Hawk, because that could actually be exactly what puzzled you.
That's true too. Good point. I may actually do that just so I can do a little bit more on Autumn and Hawkrun.
And that way you don't have to worry about stitching on a yellow.
Yes. And of course, we'll get the new monthly for February on Saturday. I haven't yet decided if I want to continue to work on Cathedral Wood Goddess for February's monthly, or if I want to switch to Nativity.
You don't like you.
Okay, I don't like me. Nativity it is.
I flipped the needle minder.
If it ticks me off too much, I can always go back to Wood Goddess. So there's that. Alright.
Or it's a trick coin.
Well, yeah, because the magnets are heavy and the front is wood.
Well, the thing is, I keep doing it. Yeah, so, yeah, but we'll just do Nativity.
Yeah, we'll just do Nativity. Alright. That's plans.
No announcements,
I have no announcements. What would we like the folks to do?
Please like, subscribe, bell notification, comment below, share the video, make Mr. Algorithm like us.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us this week. We hope you had a good time. We hope you were entertained. And we hope you come back to visit us next week. And hopefully we get back in our regular rhythm at this point. Can't handle any more catastrophes. So, we will see you all next week. Have a good week.
Bye!